taken. 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 Ball taken. Ball taken.
Eagle Team halfway to victory.
Ball carrier killed. Ball taken. Ball taken. Ball taken. Taken. Ball 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 taken.
Eagle Team nearing victory.
Ball taken. Ball taken. Ball taken. Ball carrier killed. Ball taken. Ball taken. Ball taken. Ball taken. taken.
Facing elimination. Round 2.
Ball taken. Ball taken. Ball taken. Ball taken. Ball carrier killed. Ball taken. Ball taken. Ball taken. Ball carrier killed. Ball taken.
Cobra Team halfway to victory.
Ball taken. Ball carrier killed. Ball taken.
Cobra Team nearing victory.
Ball taken. taken.
Facing elimination.
Ball taken. Ball taken. Ball taken. Ball carrier killed. Ball taken. Ball taken. Ball taken. Ball carrier killed. Ball taken. Ball taken. Ball carrier killed. Ball taken. Ball taken. Ball carrier killed. Ball taken. Ball carrier killed. Ball taken. Ball taken.
Cobra team halfway to victory.
Ball taken. Ball taken. Ball taken. Ball carrier killed. Ball taken. Ball taken. Ball taken. Ball taken. Ball carrier killed. Ball taken. taken. Ball taken. Ball taken. Ball taken. Carrier kill. Ball taken. 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 Ball carrier killed. Ball taken. Ball taken. Ball taken.
Cobra team nearing victory.
Ball taken. Flag taken.
Rock, paper, scissors, because one team could beat another and it's topsy-turvy and anybody can win on the day.
Well, this is Quadrant's last chance to try and get into things here, going up against Ascent. Elimination round 3 is where they have their eyes on here, but they're going to have to take down Team WaR to do it. We're into CTF Bazaar. I haven't seen this one in a while.
2 members down for Team WaR, making 3s. They try to get the return. They've done enough for now. 4 dead for Team WaR. And Quadrant, all that good work they've done, all the effort they put in, they didn't get any rewards.
Flag returns.
It's 4-4, maps split, even Stevens now. The game has only just started.
And
Shad goes down.
We can't understate how important that flag recovery was there for WaR. They had 3 members go down as their last desperate player jumped on and recovered it. That would have been a nice 1-0 lead here on Bazaar. As we know on Bazaar, especially in comparison to so many other flag maps out there, you really can trade out kills. You really can stall out the opposing team. You have to take so many risks and traverse so far across the map to make a flag cap happen on Bazaar.
See, so many games at Bazaar finish at 1-0. A cap can be so important. It can be vital. Hysteria trying to do some damage. 2 players in his trenches. He's trying to clear them out. SLG, double doors. As he exits, Overshield's about to pop. And he's shown up right in the nick of time. It's fresh out of the oven, right for the picking. Into his chest it goes. Could this be the difference maker?
And this is what they need to start a flag cap. I guess you can essentially use this OS as a means to take over Palm or to take over VR. It looks like he opts for VR, but then goes towards Bomb Center, which is a bit counterintuitive to me. Generally, you get one of those upper positions and you set for somebody else who's not already high up. Just sprint on through bottom center.
It turns out that GB gets paid by the word, so it was starting to cost us quite a lot of money, so we brought in Goofy instead. Welcome to the desk, Goof.
Thank you very much, Jersey. We got a good matchup on our hands. Quadrant against Team WaR. 1 map away is Quadrant, and they will play against the other EU boys here in Ascent, so that'll be an impressive matchup to watch. But right now they have Rami, Hysteria, Onboard, and Tony 2 turned in their way, and I'm sure they want an opportunity to take down Ascent themselves.
So much experience on that Team WaR roster. And for Quadrant, they've got SLG. He's been there, he's done that in Europe. He's been competing for a very long time. How he would love to get his best ever land placement here, right before Worlds. But this tournament has not gone the way he would have liked. It has not gone the way Quadrant would have liked. But Nurex has got his hands on the flag here, Walsh.
This, I think, is a mistake by Nurex. I mean, he had rockets, ends up trading that kill out, but it was just too dangerous of a position in the center of the map where WaR had control. In fact, I was expecting Hysteria to even push in for a counter pull and a counter cap, because they had 2 down, they knew a player was running flags, just so many things going in favor of WaR. So I would say breaking even in that position is a good thing for Quadrant, but actually I felt like it's a mistake that went unpunished.
Tony, unfortunate time to go down there as the Overshield will be spawning any second now. Chick waiting around the Obi, trying to pick it up and make a play as Nurex already in the base of WaR. They need this Overshield to try to start this flag run.
Chick was waiting on the Overshield like a bus, and I tell you something, it wasn't coming. It's been dropped down, players down to no shields, bottom middle. It's a scramble once more. The trades are going in favor of Team WaR. Quadrant were in prime position, but they've not been able to put it together. An Overshield will be gone. Flag will be sent home. We're back on ours even.
Flag return.
Every single time we've seen that flag across, though, it's been Quadrant making moves. They've been the ones getting it across the map, over towards market, over towards double doors, over towards trees. We haven't really seen any successful pull yet from Team WaR. So it does look good still if you're a Quadrant fan, but ultimately it would be such a dagger if you get that close that many times and WaR just makes one good pull themselves.
I was just about to say, all the effort you put in, if WaR somehow find themselves their first flag pull and they get a flag cap, how detrimental can that be to your confidence, Goof?
It could be a dagger, like you guys said. Very close game here in game number 4. Neither team really able to get an edge, but Quadrant, as I say that, they're moving this flag so close to taking the lead here in game number 4, and it looks like this flag will be going in unless some miracle happens. Onboard here in the base of Quadrant throws out the flag, tries to get a kill, not able to do so. 2 members for each side go down, make that 3 down for WaR, and this should be a flag cap for Quadrant.
A little desperate, but Rami, the sole survivor of this engagement, tries to jump on, gets the recovery. Somehow WaR every single time gets their recoveries, and I don't know how they're doing it. Just even during a couple of those individual fights on the flag at the Quadrant base, I felt like, you know, seeing Onboard not get the finish and trade that kill out, I was like, oh, this one's over. It's clearly a Quadrant flag.
You know, we've seen Quadrant pull flags now multiple times. I think they're just not getting that second round of slays in, and they're really slow off the mark. Yes, they were able to get the flag back to their base, but because they didn't get that solidified second round of slays, they found it very hard to cap, and unfortunately, Team WaR came back in their base.
It's WaR by name, WaR by nature here. They're not giving an inch. Every single time the flag gets back, it's getting sent home one way or another. And again, Quadrant pulled yet another flag, but Rami's there with the rockets.
Once again, Rami making the plays to get the return, and I'm still at a loss for words as Rami able to get the return. But on the other side, we have Team WaR putting in a flag cap of their own. Rami with the play to get the return, and now WaR have the lead in this game. That's back-to-back big plays out of Rami.
Yeah, we saw Quadrant trying a run through the alley and sewer as some sort of counter pull measure, but WaR, one flag pulled, one flag captured essentially.
100% completion rate for Team WaR on flag pulls. That's efficiency. They've bided their time, they've been on the ropes, but they've been boxing clever, and when they came out, they made sure to make them pay. Quadrant are in big trouble here after putting so much effort into this game. They've come out, and somehow they find themselves down.
I still can't believe that flag, that most recent one that Quadrant got to their base. Rami was able to get the return. I was commentating thinking that they got the cap, but Rami got to the return, and now WaR have the lead, and we may see a game number 5. Jersey, Dave, these open bracket teams are really showing us that they're the real deal. We see the Oxygen Esports got top 2 in their pool. We're seeing Team WaR here putting up a fight. All these open bracket teams are here to prove a point.
Not so surprising. I mean, such a large talent pool within Halo, and for any of these teams that can make it out of there, just forming their absolute best squad, they're going to come in and do some damage in pool play. I didn't expect some to make it as far as they did. You know, someone like Oxygen taking top 2 in their pool, but it is no surprise that they're going to chip away and take up a lot of sets amongst the bottom of the pool.
Just goes to show, if you're not playing the best you can, any team in the Open Championship, in the Open Bracket, can come out here and cause an upset. And we're seeing Team WaR really push the pace on the Quadrant. And although they've been on the back foot, they've been playing defensive. When they've needed to attack, they've made sure to do it with success.
And here comes another pull here for Quadrant. They get the flag to tree, but a death happens. To me, if that flag carrier dies too early, unpunished, I count that as a stopped flag. If I was Quadrant, I would not have committed much further to that.
Desperation now. Desperation. It's all hope. It just seems like Quadrant keep trying to throw Hail Marys every single time. They've got time on the clock, Walsh.
You're absolutely right. They're trying the same play, and they're like, all right, fool me 8 times. What about this 9th one?
Get it one time.
You're looking over here towards sewer. I'm running towards market now. It's just like, all right, you're not gonna, you can't stop us 9 times in a row, can you?
You know what? They're making desperate plays. They just don't have the numbers to pull flags, and they're wasting their own time by pulling flags that aren't going to make it anywhere near the base that they want to cap it in. And that's the big problem. Slay, get some numbers on your side. Wait for 3 dead at least, then pull a flag, and then get in position to get the rest of the Slays to get it over the board.
Small mistakes are making a big difference in this game, as Quadrant will kind of make the play 90% of the way. In that last 10%, they'll be a little bit lazy, and they're paying for it. And only 2 minutes and 45 seconds left in game time, and we will be going to a game 5. So time is against you if you're Quadrant. You need to get something going, and you need to get it going soon.
Quadrant are absolutely rattled here. Chick and Urix have gone down. Rami and Envor on the other side. But it's Hysteria starting to pull that flag. Chick is now being forced. The resources are being split. He has to come back and play defense.
And look at that slight difference, even in the Team WaR flag pull there. Hysteria did not make an easy kill. Drew 2 people all the way back on the flag plat, about another 10 seconds or so. So by the time this push comes out to the courtyard from Quadrant, Hysteria's probably going to be right back in the action. He's going to push on over towards Catwalk.
Urix has somehow managed to get a kill when he had no right to. Turning around on Tony and making sure he got the double melee. Envor picks up 2 in the feed though. All 4 members up for Team WaR. And is the call gonna come now? Just to play Slayer, have and hold what you have. Overshield just popped up.
This is a big opportunity for WaR to extend their lead. Great timing on the kills, allowing themselves to get the overshield. And again, they don't need to be overly aggressive, but what I don't want to see out of Team WaR is just absolute defense, right? Right, Dave? We've seen it time and time again. Teams will have the lead in the flag game and be playing a little bit too scared, a little bit too defensive, and end up paying for it dearly.
Classic mistake, but we aren't seeing that just yet out of WaR. The fact that they're already well across the 50-yard line, they're over in the opposing team closet, over in the BR or alley. They are definitely holding at least the center of the map, and that's a minimum is what you're expecting for a team to be at least somewhat aggressive when they're up in flag.
All this Halo is being played in the right part of the map. It's in Quadrant's base. It's in over their 50-yard line. Tony 2 turns got the flag once more. That's going to pull resources back. It's 3 dead for Quadrant. 1 minute on the clock. This flag can just stay out as far as they're concerned, but Quadrant are making a move of their own.
And they've given away their position. that is also dangerous. Generally, if you're going this counter cap style, you want to make sure there's been kills straight across the map, or you want to do some damage and then pull that flag, but they are in such a difficult position. However, if you're wanting some sort of neutral scenario like this, like a counter cap scenario, you're hoping for that Quadrant, but this is going to be the nail in the coffin in here for game number 4. Being down 2 on Bazaar, and unless they can get another 23 flag attempts here in the next 30 seconds, I don't see Quadrant getting 2 caps.
I can see them pulling 23 more flags, but still ending up with absolutely no flags captured. That's the way this game has gone. 2-0, 20 seconds left, and for Team WaR, the damage has been done. They've done enough. 3 dead for Quadrant once more, Goof.
And really, I think the difference came down to the timing of the overshields, right? We saw WaR get the overshields the last few times and really capitalize on their opportunities. Quadrant feels like they had 10 flag runs and weren't able to capture even one of them. Got so close, and there you have it, 3, 2, 1, and we're going to a game number 5.
Hopefully we can see the stat screen on there. I would love to actually see the number of flag pulls and conversions. One thing I'll say is that WaR will absolutely have more than 2 because they took a couple other pulls. You know, 1 to get a flag stop, 1 to just buy some time on the flag. But ultimately, you're going to see a story where it's going to be well over double-digit pulls here for Quadrant, 0 caps on the board, and you'll see single-digit pulls from WaR.
A complete capitulation from Quadrant. I don't think they've recovered from that oxygen wobble. It has to be said. They were expected to solidify themselves top 2 seeding, and all of a sudden they find themselves in an elimination bracket far earlier than they would have anticipated, and their ticket now for Worlds that was all but solidified is now looking a little bit shaky.
There you go, Walsh. There's the stats. What do you make of them?
Looking at the kills, not too surprising. I mean, we did see a lot of kills still coming out Quadrant. We just didn't see that converting cap. So when we get to see those caps or those flag pull screen,
You heard the man, Walshy. You don't want to go against him, do you? But I tell you what, though, we're jumping back into things here because we are waiting for the winner of this matchup to be on the main stage versus Ascend and Jersey Quadrant. They're on the ropes.
Yeah, here's my concern. HCS Valencia Game 7. It was Slayer on streets, and already this has gotten off to a miserable start. I really hope these players don't have PTSD here, Walsh.
No, and look at that huge trade, at least by Chick there, but you don't want to get off to that slow start. These players on WaR have been in countless Game 5s, clutch countless Game 5s. We've talked about before, one of the Achilles heels of the EU scene is being pushed against the ropes, being in those really stressful situations, whereas that's just another series in NA.
And just to mention it as well, we saw the stat on the screen a moment ago, but Team WaR, they actually haven't lost a Slayer so far in the championship bracket. And I gotta say, Quadrant, they've lost 3. So that's a bit of a difference maker.
Such a big advocate for this team that has a strong start off of a Street Slayer, ends up having success. And we're seeing that here. Team WaR, a great start, up 9-5 early. Rami leading the way with 5 kills already and a killing spree.
Quadrant right now, they're on the ropes, and they look like headless chickens, deer in the headlights, other animals that can be bewildered, I don't know. Quadrant are in big, big trouble here. 10-7, they're just starting to close the gap a little bit, but they need to start pulling together some sort of rhythm.
Yeah, just like a penguin in a pool, and just in that same moment, you notice these players sliding around, slipping and sliding around, pushing on over towards this B side, but at least Quadrant have been able to slow this around to a 5-kill lead. It can sometimes spiral out so fast, so at least they'll be able to trade out kills. But my fear right now is that Quadrant are going to get in a position that they're too afraid to make a mistake. They're going to start playing passive, and that's not how they practiced.
Something telling here is rockets are up, and perhaps they are thinking about making mistakes because Chick has gone down. They didn't even contest the rockets. As a matter of fact, they gave them up. SLG in Red Room. He's up against Envor, and he's come up worse for wear. Tony Two-Turn is on hand. They're starting to get separated. They're getting isolated. And Goofy, that spells trouble to me.
Great teamwork out of Envor and Tony now choosing to be aggressive, but Envor opting to back up. Tony does go and push into Nyrix, gets that kill. Chick trades it out with Rami. Now Tony not able to get that cleanup, but his teammate is there to pick it up. So 18-11, we're seeing some back and forth, but ultimately it looks like the lead just keeps extending.
Extending indeed. I mean, being down 8 kills on streets this early in the game, you now need to rely on Quadrant to get some sort of massive swing, 2 or 3 kills, and then go on a spawn trap. So they need to figure out how and when they're going to turn the aggressiveness, because right now they're just waiting for these neutral fights, and Team WaR is happy just to trade kill for kill.
And Dave, I really think that turn is going to be on the next Rockets. They're going to need to get some sort of power weapon to change their fortunes in this game, as it's slipping away. 11-kill lead for Team WaR in game number 5.
I'm somehow seeing so many members of Team WaR get taken down to no shields, but just get away with their lives, and then a teammate is on hand to get the kills. And every every single time that kill gets away from a member of Quadrant, you just know his head is down because he was supposed to get that kill. That should have been a +1 in the kill column. And looking at the score now, 23-12, Quadrant are in big trouble.
Still another minute and a half until this next set of rockets. And so that's going to be, or sorry, yeah, 2.5 minutes. So this is going to be a difficult situation, or sorry, yeah, I got the time wrong, whatever. Either way, they're in a neutral game scenario here, still for a moment in time, and this is not favoring Quadrant. They want to have those power weapons on the map to swing this. And so here we go, next 5 seconds, we got rockets finally coming up. Eventually, when I get done with the sentence, they'll eventually be up, and we're gonna see if Quadrant can grab these and turn this around. But even if they get it, it's just a couple rockets. It's not like it's gonna be a full set of sniper and 5 to 10 kills.
Quadrant can not afford to lose the rockets, and as I say that, Tony already got a kill with one. SLG finally takes him down, but the damage has been done as the rockets got off spawn and were in the hands of WaR for a little bit too long, and now their lead is still 10 kills. SLG fortunately able to do a lot of damage here on the B stairs and having to back up with no help from his teammates.
10 kills difference. What can Quadrant do? Backs to the wall. Gets 1 kill, but it's going to be traded out. And Team WaR will take that all the live long day.
Yeah, and SLG's kind of wondering, like, all right, where was my backup there? We had somebody stuck over at water cooler. We were prepared to fight someone else's driveway, and just somebody get hit by a grenade on his team, had to back down fully. So clearly not on the same page. It feels like as soon as Quadrant member is taking HCS damage, they're hightailing it.
Yeah.
Or they're instantly committing to an engagement. They're not on the same page.
Disjointed, hanging each other out to dry, it would seem at times. 7 kills the difference now. Need to try and pull something together. Nurix is helping that with the Bulldog elsewhere. Tony Two-Turn goes down. But Chick has got 2 members to contend with. Shad's trying to offer any support that he possibly can. Now Chick's going to get close. Picks up 1, looking to spin around for Rami. Will get eliminated. Trades come through with 2 for 2. That's not good enough.
Chick behind enemy lines got some help, but it turns into trades. That could have been the swing that they needed, but this is just slowly getting closer and closer to the 50 kill mark. And on a map, especially like Streets, you can play some tight corners. You can go for those 2-shot melee trades. You can do so much to make it a difficult kill and get away and live.
And that entire engagement in PD core was so crucial. We saw Quadrant, cut the lead down to 6, and it looked like they could cut it down even more, but WaR came back and put the pressure on. But now 7-kill lead, make that, yeah, still now an 8-kill lead. So WaR really trying to break away and get this win.
Yeah, and those rockets that I called out 2.5 minutes ago, the second set of rockets, like I said, were going to be important, and there they just popped, but these teams are both going for them. This is still looking a little closer, so it hasn't been slowly slipping away from Quadrant, but the fear is that as you get closer and closer to that 40 kill mark, like I said, that trading fear that WaR can enforce. But right here, we're looking at what Shad's going to do. I like this aggressive play. You can't just sit and wait for the kills to happen each time, but somewhere you need some help.
Quadrant running out of lives to play with. At some point, damage control. They'll have to play a little bit slower. 7 kills the difference, and Goofy spoke about it at the start of the game. It was Team WaR who took an 8-4 lead, and they haven't looked back since. They've only every time Quadrant starting to get a little bit closer, Team WaR step on the gas.
Look at this onboard, zero fear, pushing in the Tran behind enemy lines. Realize his team's up by 10 kills at that moment in time, and they are just pushing it. Look at this. This could be a moment for Quadrant, but no, you gotta win those 1v1s. Not saying that you consistently win those, but if you want to keep your team in this tournament and secure that spot to Worlds eventually, you need to win those at this point.
Team WaR needs 6.
No more room for error if you are a Quadrant. Like you said, sure, the only 6 kills left to go for WaR, and it's now or never for Quadrant. You need to get a couple kills. Ideally, you can get 3 or 4 down and force the spawn of this Team WaR, but if they got anything to say about it, they're gonna try to put their foot on the throat and close the door on Quadrant and face Ascent next. WaR was down 2-1 in this series, now looking at a Game 5 win, only 6 kills left to go.
8 kills the difference between the 2 teams. The long road back for Quadrant, not out of the realms of possibility just yet, but they are running out of lives to play with. Rockets are going to pop very soon. 5 seconds to be exact, and Quadrant need these now more than ever. But Tony Two-Turned, he's bottom middle, and he's stepping out, and they can afford to risk those lives to secure those rockets uncontested.
And that is not what you can afford here in a situation like this. Uncontested rockets, tournament life on the line. Team WaR are just going to chip this away and secure these last few kills. I think this is the end of the road here for Quadrant.
on the ropes and have not really thrown any punches since then. It's been miserable since the start of this game when they went down 46-39. Hysteria back commando now. Starting to turtle up just a little bit. They know these next few kills are going to be so important. SLG's picked up 2, but he stepped into Hysteria's BR. 3 kills remaining. Nurix, big 1v1, he comes out on top.
That was a huge thrust and play, but is it too little too late? They know there's still someone over at Ivy, and they need to get this person out real quick, because as soon as this reinforcements from WaR come into play, they could be done for. And wisely picking up Onboard, we have ourselves a game. Chick picking up the Bulldog. I love this play. At this point, you can't just slow it down fully. You have to be an aggressor. And Nurix and squad pushing in towards PD and A to see if they can stop this WaR roster.
Now all of a sudden our team WaR's nerves, are they starting to wobble? Are they starting to tremble? Are they starting to wilt? Hysteria, back tower with Tony 2 turn. Nurix will get the trade. Team WaR require 2. Nurix has just gotten himself a killing spree. It has to come now. The game is going to slow down very shortly.
Rockets in 30, but I don't know if we'll even get that far. Look at this engagement over towards B-side. Rami secures one of the 2 final kills. Rami goes down. WaR needs to just get one more, and they are moving on.
Look at the passion out of WaR. Tony 2-turn living up to his name, getting turned after the win. A miraculous comeback, down 2-1. The underdogs coming into this series, I would say, Jersey, but ultimately came out victorious on the other side, being down 2-1. A fantastic performance in game number 5. They got the lead and never looked back.
Miserable tournament for Quadrant. Complete capitulation on the biggest stage. Tony 2-turn stands over the counter, screams in their face. And shout out to that one man who tried to give Envor a fist bump but got left hanging.
I tell you what, it really was a miserable tournament for Quadrant. And I've got to say, yeah, you're right, Goofy. They were the underdogs for sure coming in. Team WaR, though, they didn't look like it. They put Quadrant on blast in that series. And I've got to say, for Quadrant, an underperformance. And I want to know from your perspective, Goofy, after watching them, after knowing and coming into the Orlando Major with so much expectation for Europe, and especially a team like Quadrant, what changed, do you think, for you?
I don't know, because Quadrant being that second best team right after Ascend, like they had so much to live up to. And like I was mentioning, Friday, they didn't play their absolute best, but they played really well and they were on track to have a good tournament. And sometimes that's just how the cookie crumbles, and you have a slow start to a day 2, and they weren't able to kind of hit the brakes and really regroup, reset. And unfortunately for them, they came up against a hot team, WaR team. And like I was mentioning earlier in the cast, Lottie, these open bracket teams are no slouch, right? We have some very stiff competition here at HCS Orlando, and Quadrant just got the short end of the stick.